but I can't make any promises.
But
So Ted's going to sound non-patronizing and
No, I'm going to be extremely condescending.
Is it possible for Ted to sound non-patronizing
or authentic.
Yeah, I feel like he's never authentic.
He's always articulate.
He is, but he's never authentic.
I feel like we're talking about him and he's not even in the room right now.
No, it's talking about Ted when he's not even here. No, you know what? I like the concept of when Ted has no idea what the tip is. Like when he walks in and says, even though I send these out, 4 or 5 days
You're completely lying right now.
What? Yeah, he did. He sent it up before, yeah.
No.
I sent the tip out way ahead of time.
I know you do, but you're not happy about the fact that he just looks at it right now.
No, I saw it before.
You said, I'm kind of like, I know. That's what I'm saying. I'm calling you out right now because all you do is like, I can't believe it. I send this tip out days in advance.
And he never
No, I did look at it.
Hang on, Ted. We're talking about you.
Oh, okay. Is that what my ears are on
Give
fire?
me a minute. Give us a minute here, Ted.
Yeah. Ted, you're not involved.
That's the face of a man who's being talked about behind his back.
Ted, you're not involved in this conversation. We're talking about you, not with you.
You're out of your element,
That's
Ted.
the guy who was talked about behind his back multiple times.
Ted's pointing to an air freshener of his head.
Dude, we're posting those. Those are the most fantastic things I've ever seen in my life.
That's awesome.
All right,
yeah.
can I
It's got to become a set, too. It can't be like one. It has to be all three together.
Well, what if you just, Ted, people all the feedback we get is about you.
We're not selling those.
If we sold those, you would sell 100 times more.
Can we just make those stickers and just like put them everywhere?
Can you tell everybody what we're talking about?
Oh, Mark made some air fresheners that are hanging just of our heads that are hanging from my ceiling right now, and they are fantastic. The most incredible thing I've ever seen in my life.
Wow.
Yeah,
that needs to be above a urinal somewhere in 4:00 a.m. 4:00 bar bathroom when some guy's taking a whiz. When it's last call, that's the last thing I need to see.
That's the last thing I want someone to see. I don't want
in
anybody
in the female bathroom.
Ted, you want somebody thinking about you.
Why would a guy be whizzing in the female bathroom?
Yeah, because it's personal.
Yeah.
He just said in the female bathroom after he said a guy whizzing.
Guys too. You know.
People.
How about we just make them urinal pucks?
like the urinal
oh my
puck.
God. You know what?
I love that
Every
idea.
time you come up with an idea, it's absolutely genius. I'm not even messing with you. This could be a perfect thing. Our faces as urinal pucks.
I love that.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and dissolvable like toilet things. So you could take a whiz on us. You could take a dump on us.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You can just do whatever you want.
Just shit all over.
So it's like the real world. It's like the internet.
You know what? Most people, you guys are lucky. Most of all the comments we get are positive for both you guys.
Oh.
Yeah.
What? Wait, I didn't know. What about you?
I'm the poop catcher here.
So.
I always end up being the poop catcher. Yeah. Someone listen. Last week, someone thought I was murdering my dog because she took a crap at my house.
No, we clarified your.
I know.
That poor dog had cancer.
Someone thought that.
Yeah.
Someone thought that. I really.
That's called disinformation.
I like disinformation. Oh, speaking of disinformation, Jen, our squirrelologist.
Yeah.
She wanted to let you know that squirrels and rats are both rodents.
Me? You want to let me know that?
You said squirrels and rats were different. I just listened today. I listened to the show every day.
But I didn't say it definitively. I said I'm pretty sure. I don't think they're.
And they reside in Samoa. Located off the coast of Pacific Ocean.
Here, there are so many weird things out there that people think are a fruit or a vegetable or
a
rodent.
Squirrels and rats are not vegetables or fruits.
Yeah, but tomatoes are fruits technically, right?
Yeah.
Someone calls them vegetables, and there's shit like that all the time. I mean, there's animals that are actually rodents,
My favorite thing. Remember that show, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
Yeah.
Yeah. So remember, like the $100 question is like the easiest question. So they brought out this guy. He was like a Harvard grad. He had his own venture capitalist startup. He was like wicked smart. First question, $100 question. He goes, "What's the difference between a tangerine and a nectarine?" He got it wrong and he lost.
Hold on. I have no idea.
I don't know that one either.
That's a stupid question.
I know, but
what's the difference?
Something like tangerine and nectarine, he got that one wrong, and that was like the $100 question.
Who
and
cares?
Honestly,
they're spelled different.
And honestly, I
is one of the answers they're completely spelled. They start with different letters.
I didn't know the difference either. To be quite honest with you.
All right. So since none of us know the difference, if there's any listeners out there who know, go ahead and send us in. What's the difference between a tangerine and a nectarine? Because I have no idea. I would have used all my lifelines down to one.
So yeah, he didn't use any lifelines, by the way.
I planned on getting here about 15 minutes before I did to hang up these air fresheners of our heads.
Faces.
Yeah. And ask me why I'm late.
Why are you late?
Thank you, Ted.
Okay. So I'm having a new front porch put on, concrete, and I'm having the walk from the front stairs all the way to the parkway filled. It's about 40 feet. Okay.
Okay.
Guys are out there working right now. They poured the concrete at 3. They're smoothing it out. There's 5 guys out there working.
Oh, I know why you were late. You had to write your name in it.
No.
Oh.
I thought about doing that, but somebody beat me to the punch.
At your own house?
No, not exactly a name. The mail carrier walked right across all the fucking concrete.
No way.
As these guys are finishing the concrete.
Wait, there wasn't any barriers up or anything?
No, they're working on it.
And he didn't notice?
She
didn't notice?
She did see them. So I have a little box because my mailbox is at the top of my stairs. You can't use them right now because I haven't had stairs for 4 days, and now they're pouring it. So I have a box out front that says mailbox. So they've been delivering it there, but they have to walk around all week because the whole walkway is tore up and it's broken concrete in there. Well, today it was new concrete that they just finished finishing, and she walked right across it and put the mail in the box, and they all stood there and stared at her. And she just walked out. She didn't even acknowledge. She didn't even realize what she did.
Well,
and she had like at least a half inch of concrete on the bottom of her shoes.
I know why. Because you know why?
That is awesome.
Because civil servants don't have time.
No, she was probably listening. She's probably had her headphones in. My mail carrier. She's great. She's great. She's hilarious, by the way. Yeah, she always has her headphones in, so she kind of is paying attention and not. But man, that's tough to miss.
Very
wet
tough
cement.
to miss.
Guys working on wet cement.
5 of them.
Yeah.
And then
that's a tough
I came out and I was like, I came out minutes after it happened, and I saw one of them finishing the big section that she walked across. I go, what the hell happened? They're like, she just walked across this. And I'm like, what? They're like, yeah, we didn't say anything. She didn't say anything. We were just like in awe. Like,
oh man!
But it was luckily it didn't. They were there still. And they just
poured it over. Yeah,
they didn't have to pour anything. They just kind of like.
Oh yeah.
Wait, so is it going to be too late after the show for us to drive over and put our names in it?
Yeah, it's gonna cure. It's already.
Did you put your name in it?
No.
How do you not?
I had to get over here. By the time I get home, it's gonna be hard enough to where. Well, I don't know.
Oh, Ted, you know what we're doing tonight.
Oh, I moved. And I moved.
And you moved.
Yeah. So
we're gonna say Matt was here.
Yeah. I like that. That's
actually, you're probably gonna take these air fresheners and embed them in there.
What?
Embed those into the concrete.
I want those everywhere. Yeah. I literally want those in everything.
$12.99. They weren't cheap.
Wow. Each?
Yeah.
Wow.
Worth it. Absolutely.
I think it is.
Wait, how come I'm not wearing sunglasses, looking cool like you guys?
Because you're not cool.
Oh, you're right.
I'm like so different. Like I'm different than everybody else. I'm not homogenous.
Just be grateful, Ted, that that's a microphone in front of your face.
Yeah, you don't deserve. Ted, you don't deserve. When do you wear sunglasses? When's the last time you've even worn sunglasses?
When it's sunny.
I've never. Have you ever seen him with sunglasses on?
No,
never.
I got sunglasses. They're just like
I'm not
those
saying you
amber
don't
tinted.
have sunglasses.
So.
What I'm saying is you don't wear sunglasses. So, I mean, the odds of Mark catching you with a picture when you're wearing sunglasses are 1,000,000 to 1. But you do look stupid in front of a microphone like once a week, and that one's easy.
I'm the only one you know what I look like? I'm the only one looking like I'm working hard, and you guys are just
You know what you look like? You look like
around.
a professional sports announcer in that.
He does.
Yeah, you look like you're like at 1st and 10 from the 15. And wait, hold on, let me do my football. I'm going to tell you exactly what you see. Here's what you see. 2 teams are lined up. It's 1st and goal from the 20. You can obviously tell that because you play football and you watch football. Yeah.
Didn't we sort of have disparaging remarks about like announcers in general because they just like kind of point out the obvious without really going into any insight?
Yeah, Jimmy Kimmel called out Peyton Manning on the show last night on the Manning cast.
That was good.
When he called a play seconds after it was happening, so he kept calling it after it already happened.
Yeah.
And he goes, "See, I learned that from you, Peyton," because they're throwing him under the bus by saying, "Hey, predict what's going to happen here." He doesn't know anything about football, really. He admitted that. He's like, what do you think's going to happen here? And he waited till the play to develop, and he's like, "See what I did there, Peyton?"
Yeah, and I'm not a big Jimmy Kimmel fan.
No, I mean, I always get Jimmy Kimmel and the other guy confused.
I know you do.
Who's the other guy?
Jimmy Fallon.
Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah, him too. Yeah.
One of them is buried under Mark's front walk, and the other one is Jimmy Hoffa.
Yeah, well, they just moved him there today.
So the only time I see Jimmy Kimmel,
everything was fine until
every time I see Jimmy Kimmel's face on the internet, it's always like he always has something to say about Trump. That's the only time they ever like mention him, like Kimmel slams Trump for doing this or doing that. And it's just like,
but that's their thing.
Yeah, I guess that's
the
their
thing
thing
that they have going
That's
on.
their thing.
Yeah.
All right, let me ask you guys this: Mark, you lived basically in a city your whole life, right?
Yeah.
And Teddy, you've always lived basically in the city.
Yeah.
Okay. So did you guys know that they're game wardens and they set up fake deer to catch people poaching deer
In the city?
No. In rural areas.
Oh yeah, I do.
I've heard of that. Like,
my dad.
I've heard of that a little
my family
bit,
all hunt. My brother hunts. My dad hunts.
Yeah. I guess I did not know this, but there's a serious problem with people like driving down the highway and just pulling over and reaching out of their car and shooting deer like on the highway.
My dad and brother got pinched.
What?
Yeah, they were hunting in the dumps in Indiana.
What do you want to dump deer?
They call them the dumps. No, they call them the dumps. It's open land that they filled, and it used to be the dumps years ago, like in the 50s.
Okay.
Yeah, but now it's
Covered up dump.
That's what they do. You know that, right? I mean,
What?
they build golf courses on what used to be landfills. It's a
I played
landfill.
one of the golf courses we played.
Yeah,
is on a
but
golf
anyway,
course.
my brother and dad, there's huge bucks in there because you're not allowed to hunt there. So my dad, they used to go hunting there, and they got a warden busted them
Why can't you hunt there?
because it's just you can't hunt wherever you want. Just like you can't pull over on the side of the road and fucking shoot a deer.
No, you can't.
You can only hunt in certain areas that are where
Yeah, but I did not know this, but yeah, so they set up these really realistic deer.
Yeah.
And so they got
Oh, they're not even real deer.
No, they're not real deer. No, it's a fake deer.
Oh, I thought
Like
the warden
like
was
the
hanging
ducks.
out watching.
No,
to
you
see
like
if
the
anyone's
ducks, like you don't have the ducks, then they
Yeah,
track
but I
their
guess
ducks.
this is supposed to be like
concept.
super real.
Yeah.
And so they got this guy in Tennessee, and he pulls over and he shoots with a bow and arrow out of his car. Is that crazy? He's in his car.
Yeah.
He's still in his car. In his car, he
Yeah.
pulls a bow and arrow and shoots a deer. Then he gets out because he sees that he hits it, and he goes to get the deer.
Yeah.
Right? Well, there's two game wardens there, and they bust him. Turns out this guy has been on the lam for 10 years, living in Tennessee backwoods.
for a crime that
He did tons of crimes. He was just a
Oh.
career criminal. He's stolen. He's beaten.
So he's got warrant. He's
robbed.
got warrants for his arrest.
Yeah, but he spent 10 years living in the Tennessee backwoods
to not get caught.
Yeah,
Obviously.
and at no point did his name ever come up. Nothing. He's never showed up in anything, and they caught him doing this. Right. So they now this is laying down the law for somebody. So number one, they fined him $3,000. Is that a lot
for poaching.
for poaching?
Oh, I
yeah,
don't know.
that seems like a significant amount.
They took away his bow and arrow because I guess he had a crossbow because he had two crossbows, and one was when they got back to his car, one was just loaded with a crossbow arrow in it, which he's
He
driving
prob-
around with two.
He probably shouldn't have
crossbows.
those anyway if he's on the lam, right?
I
Because he
mean-
probably busted bail or whatever they call it.
Yeah.
Skipped bail. Now he's
Oh yeah, 10 years. So they take all that stuff away, and here is my favorite part, and this is the one that everybody tore into when I was reading this article. He had a 2000 in his car. He pulled him over. It was a 2011 Buick Regal, and they took his
It's a good-
they
It's a
took
good
his car.
It's a good car.
They took our car.
was it a Regal GS?
I think it was a PS.
Wasn't a
It was a
lacrosse
piece of
Those
shit.
GSs are nice.
Yeah.
man.
Yeah. No.
Buick makes
Yeah.
sense,
So
huh?
they took out everything that he had for shooting this, and they finally caught him. And I guess, and besides that, he can't hunt. Here, this is the funniest thing. They suspended his hunting and fishing license for 3 years. Like he cares. He's literally been poaching for 10
Yeah, but he could still
years.
hunt and fish on private property though.
Can
don't-
you?
Yeah, you don't need a license to fish on private property.
Wait a minute. If I own something, I can just do whatever I want there?
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know.
titty.
See, now I've never hunted before, but I think all hunting should be done with a bow and arrow to make it fair.
Knife.
To make it fair.
Not Chinese stars.
My dad actually.
Bowie
my dad
knife-
hunted
Bowie
with a
knife?
bow.
Bowie knife or
Bowie
Chinese
knife, yeah,
stars?
yeah, exactly.
Nunchucks and Chinese stars.
Because you know what's actually exciting? If whatever you're hunting has a chance to kill you.
That's not exciting for the hunter.
That's
That's
fair.
happened before.
That's called
You ever
fair.
see
That's called
those-
keeping
there's
it
a,
fair.
There's a whole thing on videos of that.
Well, yeah, I told you guys that my buddies hunt, and I asked if I could go, and my one buddy brought it to the other guys, like, and they kind of know me, like peripherally. I see him once or twice a year, and so like a month later, I'm like, hey man, it's this guy Dwayne. I'm like, Dwayne, can I go hunting with you guys? He goes, no. I go, because I don't have a gun. I mean, I'll buy a gun, or
Yeah.
I can just borrow a gun. He goes, no. I go, is it because I have a couple of drinks and stuff? He goes, no, we drink. I go, what is it? He goes, we don't trust you with a gun. I'm like, what? He goes, yeah, we think you might just screw around with it and like accidentally shoot somebody or something.
Yeah, I agree.
Who screws around with a gun? That's not a joke. It's not a fun thing to screw around with a gun.
You have that reputation, man.
But we talked about
I
that.
do not seem like a guy who would just jack around with a gun. I
But-
feel like I'd be extra safe.
But then we talked about that a few episodes ago, where it's like if you want to commit the perfect crime under the guise of hunting's a perfect crime. You're in the you have a gun. You're in the wilderness with no witnesses, and let's just say you shoot somebody, and the excuse is always like, "Oh, I thought it was an animal, or it was a hunting accident." like Dick Cheney.
So you're saying these guys are afraid I'm gonna that their wives are gonna set me up and like set me up to murder them or something?
I don't know, but can I just say that Ted just said, I think we talked about this on the show before, and we actually didn't.
No, we didn't.
Normally it's something you do repeat.
No, we
did.
No, we brought it up at some point. It was a few episodes ago. We said, like, so remember the guy who shot somebody on a hunting trail? They caught the kid with his girlfriend, and then he said, I thought it was
right.
an animal.
Yeah. That was a good one.
Yeah.
And that's still out. That case
crime.
is still going, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're trying to decide if it's.
Oh, he had the puppy. He was holding the dog.
Yeah, he was holding the dog, and they thought it was a wild animal.
Yeah.
I heard her howl.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, so that was pretty good. All right, let's get this thing rolling because we have an awesome guest. You guys.
I
You could do all the talking. I'm just gonna.
I am so excited.
I know.
I'm so happy. So happy.
I'm wearing my Orbiting Death football.
Do you know he's
t-shirt.
got an audio book, it's like a movie book dropping on Halloween.
He just had one drop Tuesday.
The
Crypt.
Oh no, I know that one, but this one is I can't remember the name of it. It's a World War II like twist.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
but it's got sound effects and everything.
Yeah, he
like actors. It's got actors, and it's like one of those old time radio shows. It's freaking.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay, you got to bring that up because I had no idea. I thought I knew it. I honestly thought I knew everything.
Yeah, the one that the Crypt is just
it's a book.
A book.
Yeah.
This is with real players and sound effects and everything. So it's like a movie on radio.
A movie in your mind. That's what graphic audio is. So I don't know. You guys don't listen
that's
to
what
books.
It's called. Yeah.
Oh, graphic audio. Okay.
Yeah.
So graphic audio does the books. Like if you write a book, they're
the vendor.
Well, they'll do an interpretation of it with actors.
Oh,
yeah, that's what this is. Graphic audio. Yeah, I'm sorry.
graphic
I didn't
audio.
know the term.
Yeah, and the thing is, they do this graphic audio, a movie in your mind.
So it's like what's his name? Who's the guy who always like
Orson Welles?
He's a great another great orator, or just a guy James Earl Jones, right? He's always doing like an audiobook or something.
Yeah,
or
but
a guy
he
like
just
that.
reads. He just reads. I got to be honest with you, and I'll bring it up when Scott comes on. But he does all the voices for the series. Like all the books I've ever listened to, except for this new one, was all done by him. And the voices are what makes it. It's incredible.
Oh yeah,
dude,
I've seen that.
Absolutely,
I didn't know what the term. I didn't know what the term was for that. Yeah,
it's called Drew, and it's full cast audio drama.
Yeah. I've heard a bunch of those. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff involved. I mean, if it's good, it doesn't matter. But yeah, I've seen a lot of it. Okay, so let's get this going here because I'm so giddy. Hey everybody, my name is Matt, and this is the Real Three Idiots podcast. Happy Angel Food Cake Day, my all-time favorite. Angel food cake.
Better than fruitcake.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely angel food cake. Here, I'll tell you a funny story. So Jack's girlfriend is making a cake for Savannah. Savannah had her bachelorette party this last weekend. Okay, they all were up in Wisconsin. So Jack's girlfriend brings over a cake that she'd made, like she made it herself, to take to the bachelorette party, right?
She was going?
Yeah, she went. Jack's, yeah, they're all friends. They're all doing that. And her mom, this was kind of bogus, I thought. Her mom bought her 2 angel food cakes and said, "This is for when you screw up the cake."
Wow, that's not passive aggressive at all.
I know. I thought that was really mean. It seemed really mean to me. And the cake looked awesome. I guess it tasted good.
It's not hard to make cake.
But she made
that's
three.
why that's
it's a
even more
3-layer,
insulting.
But it's a 3-layer cake.
Okay,
she
no,
really
I mean
you
could do something. I'm just saying in general.
Yeah, no,
because that is kind of an insult. I mean, that's pretty.
What I thought. And it was weird because her and Jack put it together and decorated it. And Jack's a pretty good cook, and he's a pretty good baker and all that kind of stuff. So
what about a candlestick maker?
Yeah,
big.
I'm so sure
I had to throw that out.
Big difference between cooking and baking.
But it was weird. So she brought the 2 angel food cakes because Jack told her it was my favorite, and so she just brought them and she's like, "Here, you can have them." I literally in 3 days ate one entire angel food cake. Wow. I am not a good person. Yeah.
That's light cake, though.
Did you do like the Romans and throw it? Cake, did you do like the Romans and throw it up afterwards just to cleanse your system?
I ate an entire in 3 days. I went like a third. No, I went like what I went? I went like a quarter, and then I was really fucked up last night. And I
soak it in rum.
You had the munchies. You had the munchies.
The night before, and I ate like half an angel food cake.
Like, okay, so my only thing is like when you woke up next day, did you remember you ate it or you just felt guilty? There's only 2 feelings.
When I walked downstairs and the frosting thing was empty and the cake thing was empty, I just thought, man, I'm a piece of crap.
That's not that bad. If you ate a whole Portillo's chocolate cake, then I would be like, dude, you got a problem. Angel food cake's okay.
No, you know what you did? Like who ate that cake?
You're fine, man.
I wanted some of that.
Funny,
I wanted some of that.
He started kicking the dog.
Yeah.
Socks, you son of a.
Oh, don't start that. You start saying I kicked my dog and I'm going to get like 95.
Oh, we were
terrible.
role playing. We were just joking.
All right. Let me keep going here. With me, as always, is a man whose long-term memory has become his short-term memory, and his short-term memory has become a glass of Crown Royal on the rocks. Teddy.
You know, I didn't.
A short glass, by the way.
Better than a short bus, I suppose. So
It's
listen,
the same thing for you, Ted.
I didn't know what my purpose in life was. You know, I didn't really have
You
a
don't
purpose
know
in life.
now.
Yeah, no, but I have an inkling now. I have an inkling.
What do you believe your purpose in life is?
Okay, I was reading this
hang
article.
on, let me finish.
So here's the thing. If
Don't
I
ever start something like that when I take a drink.
did it go through your nose?
No,
Okay,
almost.
Okay, look. If I win the $1.7 billion Powerball,
Oh, my God.
you didn't let me finish my sentence. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna build an all-exclusive golf club where the rules are so strict that
Even you
it's
can't get
even I can't get in the club. Yeah,
Well, no one's done that before.
and I run.
Yeah,
So
that's-
I want you to think Augusta National on steroids, where it's like so impossible to get in.
It's going to be a racist golf course?
No, not going to be racist. It's just going to be the rules are going to be. I'll give you an example. So there's a couple of golf courses.
Since no
out
one
there.
can get in, it would be perfect. It'd be all races, not well.
Landscapers.
No races,
Grounds crew.
no
that's
sexes.
it.
Okay, I'll give you
grounds
so,
crew,
so there's-
keepers.
So
and-
true story. So there's one golf course. I guess there's several.
Ted, we got to move.
I'm being
forward.
quick. So real
But we
quick.
got to move forward.
Okay, I'll
Can-
tell you.
can-
I'll tell you later.
Save your ridiculous, idiotic, I'm never going to win the fucking lottery story until
You know,
after.
You know what? I accept your deepest apologies.
Okay.
In advance.
And a man who is clearly related to both Rogers and Hammerstein, Mark.
That's not clear at all. But go ahead.
Wow.
Right? They wrote songs, right?
Yeah, Rogers and
I
Hammerstein.
think so, yeah.
They wrote
Yeah.
songs.
They did write
Yeah.
songs.
Marvin Hamlish. Yeah.
I don't write songs.
You just make them come alive.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
interpret.
hold on,
them.
I gotta get here.
Where are
Fill
you going?
fill the space. I have to grab the sponsor off the printer. So just pretend like
Where's
I'm
your
not doing
printer
it.
at?
Shh.
Is it a 3D
Fill it up.
printer?
He said.
Pretend like
he,
I'm
he
not
said. He
getting
said.
up
Just
and-
pretend he's not here, which we always do anyway.
We should get mad. Oh, my God. The printer's right fucking there.
I'm not saying I have to. I'm not running next door and borrowing the neighbor's printer.
You made it sound like we had to say something of substance while you were gone. I started to
No,
panic.
you know what they say. Dead air costs money.
We don't know what's going on.
If you
when
see
that
something,
happens.
if you see something,
So
say
let's,
something.
Teddy, let's get this rolling. You said it's going to be easy. Let me get to the sponsor. Mark's got a song, and then we'll do the tip. If you're like me, you hate having to find your remote control to change the channel, change the volume, or find the best fake news show. Well, this is a thing of the past. Direct Connect has just perfected the first of its kind mind control. This small microprocessor is implanted into your brain in a quick 20-minute outpatient surgery, and you will have the power over every TV in your house. Louder, softer, baseball, football, Korean or Brazilian fart porn, it's all done with your mind. All you have to do is think it. Go to mindcontrol.com and type in remote control brain implant and leave the rest to us.
Something's burning.
Something's burning what?
So I smell something burning, and it's not my remote brain implant.
In my house?
Yeah.
No shit.
You don't smell that?
Well, why don't you sing the song and I'll go upstairs and see if my house is on fire.
I'm not kidding.
Okay, go ahead. Sing your song. Do it.
When he was a young Ted, so put away those young Ted's tips. Now that I'm getting older, so much older, I long for those young Ted's tips. With a listener like you, with a listener like you. Lord knows there are things you can say, Teddy, just to me and you. Come on and make it up. Tip so good. I'm on Teddy, make a tip so good. Sometimes tips don't sound like they should. You make it tip so good.
Wow. John Cougar, I love that.
I want to see
I
you.
got a second verse.
No,
I'm
you
on Teddy, make it.
no, you don't.
One of my favorite artists of all
I
time.
want to see.
no, we
I want
know
to
that.
see you at a karaoke bar. Like if you had about a couple of pitchers of
I
beer,
would
what
never
would,
be
what
able
would
to- I
happen?
wouldn't be able to do
What
that.
would happen if we try to get you away from the
Yeah,
microphone?
you know what? As much as I like doing it, I wouldn't be able to do it. Okay, Teddy, here is your tip. Ted, I need your help. I need to convince my boyfriend to take our holiday trip to someplace warm. The last 2 years, we've gone skiing. I like skiing, but I don't like it this much. I want to go somewhere with sun, beach, and the only cold thing is my daiquiri. I don't want to poison him, but I will break something to get him to change his mind. Molly, 33, Kilkenny, Ireland.
Hey, Molly.
Kilkenny.
Oh, and this is subject to international law, and so be careful, Teddy. Yeah, be careful.
Hey, Molly, shout out to you. Always wanted to visit Ireland and Scotland and maybe golf there one day. But anyway, this tip seems like, it seems pretty obvious. I'm assuming you've been going out with the guy at least 2 years if you've been going on a ski vacation. So I'm going to assume you've been going out with him longer than 2 years because if you're already going
Let's
on
assume that. That's a good assumption.
Because if you're going on vacation with him, he's out of the stranger danger mode and you're comfortable with him. So I'm going to say you've been going out with him at least 3 years or at least 2.5 years, right? I mean, that makes sense, right?
That makes sense.
Makes sense. Okay. Okay, here's what you're going to do. I mean, just assuming he's not completely irrational, all you got to do is just say, hey,
Wait, but you're assuming a lot. You assume so much. What if he
I
is?
have to assume.
What if he is completely irrational?
Okay, well, here's what you're going to do, Molly. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to say gently, what's a good Irish name? Seamus? Let's assume Seamus. Seamus, we've gone skiing for the last 2 years, and I really appreciate the effort, but I really need to go somewhere to a warmer climate. I suggest Aruba because actually, Aruba has the perfect weather.
What if he just says no?
Well, here's what you're going to do.
I feel like the reason she's asking you is because her just saying that isn't going to be good enough.
Okay, well, I'm getting my tip.
Okay.
So, you're going to ask very nicely in a polite, professional manner. And if he says no or gives you negative feedback, here's what you're going to do. Okay, all the blowjobs you've been getting are hereby gone. All the reverse cowgirl you've been getting, gone.
Oh, my God.
All the home packed lunches, gone.
Oh, my God.
It's Aruba or nothing.
Wow.
Take your pick, Seamus.
Pretty sure they call it fellatio.
Powers.
In Ireland.
Yeah. Wow. So she's telling her to go scorched to earth.
Have fun drinking warm Guinness with your friends and having fun with Rosie Palms and her 5 sisters, unless I'm going to Aruba.
Teddy, that is intense.
Tip over.
Withhold sex.
So, I mean, Teddy, that seems like scorched earth, man. That seems like extreme.
That seems like a normal response. I'm with you, Ted.
How bad do you want Aruba?
I mean, can't you get something like in between? Isn't there like a workup to that?
No,
there's no workup.
It's just you go from 0 to 60. There's no negotiation, right? It's like she wants to go somewhere warm. He doesn't. Just say, okay, I want to go somewhere warm. 1 year out of the 3, we've gone. We've done what you wanted for 2 years. I want to do this.
Okay, so would that work? No. Would that work for you guys if that came up?
Yes.
Yeah. First of all, I
just went to kayak.com and booked our trip.
I wouldn't want to be in a relationship where myself or my partner got to decide every vacation. You know what I mean? Where you had no input, like you did something. Yeah, I think that's
okay.
You feel like that's well. I mean, but it's got to be a better way to do it than just withholding all the fun things in life.
Well, it's about setting boundaries, so it sounds like, she's done what he wants to do. Like I said, I don't know anything about their relationship.
You're not setting boundaries. You're laying the gauntlet.
That's a boundary. The gauntlet is a boundary. So,
wow, Teddy, that seems pretty intense. You know what? I'm worried that our guest today would like feel like that's just like over the top, man. I don't know.
Well, Molly, do you want to go somewhere warm or do you want to go skiing again? Because I hate fucking skiing.
Do you? I don't. I
don't hate it, but
I used to love to ski.
Yeah, I like skiing.
What if he said, okay, hey, baby, no skiing. We'll go snowboarding instead. See, that's not gonna work.
See, I always feel like and this is one of the things that drew me to this is that I don't like cold vacations. I have no interest in going on a cold vacation. I only want to go to warm places.
You know what? The cold, like if you're on a cruise, like a cruise in Alaska or something, I get it. It's very naturey, but to be physically uncomfortable for hours at a time, I don't know.
Yeah, it just doesn't. That's not my thing.
Ted's tip is over.
Ted's tip is over. Scott,
yes, Mark, it's over.
Scott, are you a skier or are you a beach guy? If you had to pick,
Price down at Crutch don't get me on skis. No way. That's one of the adventure sports, one of the X Games sports, which I call the suicide sports. Yeah. And I'm like, what the hell's wrong with you? Jumping off a goddamn cliff with a parachute.
Yeah, for sure.
Wait a minute. That's got to be a rush. Right before you hit the ground, you've got to be thinking, this was the coolest. Oh.
Yeah.
No, I think right before you hit the ground, you're thinking, I just shit my pants.
Yeah.
That's what I think you're thinking.
Yeah, but it won't matter because everything will look like that anyway when you're done, right? That is awesome.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, you don't care. I can't see myself on here. Am I framed up? Everything cool?
Oh yeah, you look fantastic.
Is this all audio or video too?
It's just audio, so don't worry about it.
Well, then who gives a shit?
We're taking screenshots of you at every second, and we're making T-shirts right now just as you speak.
That's incorrect.
Without your knowledge.
Yeah, that is incorrect.
I'm joking.
Yeah. All right, so our guest today is the fantastic science fiction and horror writer New York Times #1 best-selling author and one of the best audiobook narrators ever, Scott Sigler. Scott, welcome to the show.
Welcome.
Thank you guys for having me.
Welcome.
Listen, I was listening in the green room, which is, by the way, a nice green room. Thank you very much. Really tricked out. A couple of things real quick. Number one, you are not a bad person for eating the entire angel food cake. You are a hero to humanity, and God bless you.
Right?
And did I just make you do a spit take? Yeah, that's awesome.
Yes.
I'm wearing my beer now. Thank you very much.
Ted just
Point
fell.
number two is if you guys are new to fake deer being used by the DNR, you should visit my hometown of Sheboygan, Michigan. And yes, they look fake, but when you get good old boys drunk enough, they'll just shoot at any old goddamn thing. They don't care.
See, that's what I figured. I just figured if you're driving down the highway, you got a beer in your cup holder, right? And you see a deer, and you're just thinking, you know what? I'm having some deer. I'm having some venison tomorrow, right? And you just pull over and shoot it.
Well, number one, Busch Light's not even a real beer, so it doesn't count.
Dude, where I grew up, like that was important. If you hit a deer with your car, which happened to everybody at least once or twice a year, you always had that one guy you could call because he would just immediately come out and get it because that's 2-3 weeks worth of meat, depending on how you slice it. So yeah, if you're driving your car and everybody's armed to the gills up there, this is like back in 86, 87. You're driving around, you see deer, you stop, you shoot the damn thing, put it in the back of the truck or to the front of the hood. But if you do get caught out of season, though, it is your ass.
Scott, I'm pretty sure that there's not less guns right now in Michigan. I'm almost 100% sure there's not less.
Yeah, I think back then there was as many as one gun per person in the U.S., and now I think it's up to 4 or some shit like that.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I have family in Michigan. I go up there almost every other weekend, and this time of year, you're hearing a lot of guns.
Yeah. Okay, so you've got, one of the reasons you're on is that you've got a new book that just came out last Tuesday, The Crypt Shakedown. Okay, so give us a short version. What's this thing about? I mean, I know it. I'm halfway through it right now, so I'll tell you.
Oh, wonderful.
That.
Yeah, it's the series is The Crypt, and each book will be titled The Crypt, whatever the name is. This first one is Shakedown because it's the first time they take this ship out. So in a nutshell, keep in mind, I'm a novelist. Saying this stuff out loud is not my forte. This is a found object ship. There are multiple human governments 600 years in the future, so multiple human star systems. 2 of them are at war. One of them is in trouble and has found this ship that is an alien vessel with no one on it. And they eventually figure out how it operates. They don't know how it works. They figure out how to operate it. And if you're a fan of hard science fiction, there is an adage that there's no stealth in space. So and all kinds of sci-fi, all levels of fun, all levels of accuracy. There's a lot of great stories with stealth in space or a submarine in space, but scientifically that's not possible. So what this ship can do is slide into a parallel dimension, travel in that dimension, then come back out in our own dimension. So it effectively becomes a submarine in space. So it becomes a very, very powerful weapon. The trouble is that the missions it is sent on are so dangerous. There's a 60 to 8% crew mortality rate. So anybody who's got your daddy's an admiral or you have connections, you got a great career track, you find ways to not get staffed on this super secret ship. And they wind out with the worst of the worst put on the ship just to make it operate and send it on a mission. So if you've been convicted of cowardice in combat, insubordination, murder, rape, theft, anything like that, and you have a certain skill set, they will say, well, you can spend the rest of your life in the stockade or be executed for your crimes, or you can serve 2 years on the ship and your record is expunged. So you get some very bad people on this ship along with some good people who've been framed or are just so particularly skilled at what they do, they have to have this person on the ship. And then the kicker is that when you do travel in this alternate dimension, people have hallucinations, psychotic thoughts. So it becomes basically a ship full of insane murderers traveling from one place to another to go fight and risk their lives for their system and then have to travel back through that same psychotic subspace and pop back out here. It's a good time. It's a good fun. It's a really it's a Disney movie waiting to happen.
Yeah, so you've just described this show, just so you know.
A ship of fools.
Yeah.
Well,
and it is that cool.
Are there, because it's a series, I mean, and are you foreshadowing? Are there some reoccurring characters?
So right now,
are there reoccurring characters on this?
Sorry about that. There's 5 point of view characters. Okay?
Oh, okay.
Right now. And then there's an entire crew list in the back of the book. So, because I know there's a ton of characters. And some of the blowback I'm getting from the hardcore fans is, There's too many named characters in this. Well, this is based roughly, it's a World War II submarine in space, where Battlestar Galactica was a World War II aircraft carrier in space. This is a sweaty, confined, claustrophobic World War II submarine space. This Das Boot meets Event Horizon, if you will. And in order to make it more realistic, I have the entire crew named, all of their ranks, all of their assignments, everything that they do. And those people, of course, start to drop off. So if a
Wait, don't ruin this. I
won't.
Wait.
I won't.
Okay. I'm halfway through, man.
There are some people that you are reading largely as names only, or have like a couple of pages that they're on, that are going to wind up becoming major point of view characters later in the series.
Nice.
So this 136 people on this ship and their various assignments, we maintain that. And then in future books, someone who was mentioned twice in book 1 may pop up as a major character in book 3 to
I love
kind
that.
of provide that grounded sense of reality. But it is a lot. It's a lot to ask of some readers who are used to Starship Sci-Fi, which is 5 characters and then just a bunch of ensigns that are not ever tracked. So it's a little challenging in book 1, but that is the gist. Yeah, different people get their turn on the red carpet as the series progresses.
It is, and you know what? You know what's funny? He literally is just describing everything that I've listened to so far. And it's just awesome. I feel like I don't want to give it away. I tried to get through the whole thing. It's hard to do. It's hard to find that time. Okay, so you obviously write tons of sci-fi. So do you believe in aliens?
I think the math bears out that there's some alien somewhere. A really interesting book for anybody to read if they're interested in this is Extraterrestrial Civilizations by Isaac Asimov. It's now 50, maybe 60-year-old book. But what's really cool about it is it goes through the timeline math. Okay, so we have a tendency to think if there are aliens, they are roughly at our tech level or a couple of centuries ahead of our tech level. But the age of the universe is so vast and so huge, you could have thousands, if not millions, of civilizations that came up like us, developed technology, advanced to the stars, and then completely died out. And all of this happened before the first multi-celled creature ever appeared on Earth. So have there ever been intelligent alien life? I think it's absolutely. When you look at the number of stars and our sample set of 1 of 1, we got it here. So odds are it's happened multiple times in the past and will happen in the future. Will we ever come across an alien civilization that is able to communicate with us at this point in time in a certain distance where we can communicate with them? That's the thing that's really, really hard to say if that is possible or not. So people don't think about the historical timeline when they start to think about alien intelligence and are there aliens. But I mean, it's literally like it's the snap of a finger, our whole history of intelligence. And if you look at other races, maybe they have 2 or 3 snaps of a finger. That's how they all have to line up. Everything at distance, time, development, all has to line up for us to ever meet an alien race.
So that's an interesting answer because we had a guest on the show and Matt asked the exact same question.
The UFO expert.
Mac
Maloney.
Mac Maloney. Do you know who he is?
I do not, but what was Mac's answer?
It's very similar to yours.
Yeah, pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, he said, it's so much time has passed. The universe is so big that, there might not be hard evidence, but it seems impossible and unlikely that the answer is no. So he's like, I'm kind of going to go yes. And then he left it at that. But yeah, he's written some. He's a pretty interesting guy.
I mean, when you think about it, you could have an incredibly advanced multi-planetary system, right? That with all kinds of crazy whiz-bang technology that has completely gone from one planet to multiple planets to this massive empire, and now there's so much time and so much time fat, if you will, in the universe that all of those planets could have already been swallowed up by their respective suns. And all evidence of this other civilization were gone as their suns went supernova before the Earth even formed. So it's mind-bending. It's an awesome book. I read it 30 years ago, but it's probably still holds up. And it's check it out. You'll love it.
All right, I got to try that. So wait, now you grew up in Michigan. That means you're a Lions fan, right?
100%.
Okay, so you're hoping
they're playing good now.
Yeah, so you're hoping that the world does not get swallowed up before they get a chance to win the Super Bowl. Is that right?
To be honest with you, if the world ended tomorrow, I would be so happy.
I'm telling you.
I would get extraordinarily drunk I'd be like, "This is it, boys. I'm dying, and the Lions are 4-1 in sole possession of first place."
The Lions have won one playoff game since 1954, and for them to get to the Super Bowl, that would almost be like science fiction, right?
So
yeah, actually, I'm kind of worried if we do make it to the Super Bowl, that's fucking end times.
Yeah.
So
that might be end of days. That might be Armageddon.
All right, so one of the things that you do, and this is the thing. I think this was the first thing I ever read was you do this thing, Galactic Football League, the GFL. Mm-hmm. You have a series. There's 6 books. The greatest thing I have ever heard in my life. It's basically football played by aliens, all different alien species, and all humans and aliens and all these different kind of things, set 600 years in the future. Mm-hmm. How do you? I mean, is this all like watching the Lions lose, and you're like this is my football thing, and I want to do something positive? How do you come up with a fucking insane idea like that?
Why, are there a lot of receivers in that series?
Yeah, I'll explain. I'll answer that question. A couple of things to tell your listeners. First of all, these aliens are not just people with blue skin and bumps on their nose. Okay, like the funny faced aliens you see in Star Trek. These are completely different body types and in phenological looks to them. So you've got receivers can jump 20 feet in the air, receivers and DBs. You've got these linebackers that can kind of curl up on themselves and roll sideways and come fast. The linemen weigh around 700, 800 pounds. You've got people that can bench 2 tons. It's a bunch, but I grew up, my first memories as a human being were my dad was a football coach. First memory ever is being on his knee watching 16 millimeter football film as he prepped for a game. So I have literally been surrounded by football my entire existence. And to let your listeners know what an incredible strapping athlete specimen I am, at this point in my age, I'm 5'8", 160. So back in high school, my freshman year, I was 98 pounds. And when I was made it to varsity, I was a whopping 122. So I've always wanted to be a football player, but I am both small and slow, and that's a bad combination. It's a bad combination. So
you could play for the Bears now.
Whoa.
Probably true. So this series is I'm a nerd, I'm a jock, and it's a combination of the two. But I have already written a screenplay called Super Bowl C, the 100th Super Bowl. When I wrote this way back on, where the Lions win the fucking Super Bowl, because I had to write it into a screenplay.
Oh, see, I love that.
They might win the Super Bowl. I mean, actually, they're pretty good. I can see them winning
the Super Bowl. Shut up.
Don't. That's a guy from Chicago jinxing them. Yeah.
We've got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this week. That's all that matters.
Oh, Baker Mayfield's going to implode. Don't worry.
All right, so
I like Baker.
We all do too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I got to let Mark ask a question, but I got to do this first. You had I don't know how many years, but you had a thing called SIGFest, where people came out and kind of just like celebrated your writing, celebrated you. Okay. Mm-hmm. Give me the idea of just a room full of people, and you walk out onto a stage, and they are literally all there for what you have done, what you have written, and
what he created. What he created in his mind.
Yes.
Yeah.
What is that feeling when you walk out there and they just cheer for you? How does that? I mean, is that like a sports event?
It's a 2-part answer, and the first part is that A. Sigler, my business partner, and my wife, we put so much prep time into those and put so much money into those. We were there. We were putting on a small 3-day con, a sci-fi con, and we had to do all the programming and take care of everybody, make sure everything was covered, and deal with the hotel. So we really didn't. I never thought about any of it like that. It was like, it's okay. It's 9:00 first panel. It's showtime. All these people have flown from literally all over the world to come to Las Vegas and hang out with us for 3 days. So this is it. We're a service-oriented organization. We're a fan reader first organization. So those people sacrifice their time and their money to come out. We were running a small business and taking care of our clients. So I never thought about it that way at all. I was always on 24/7, trying to make sure people were. I was Wayne Newton, but a writer. So I was trying to make sure everybody's happy. The thing that fucks with my head is the number of tattoos that people have gotten from logos from my stories from Galactic Football League or monsters or creatures.
Yeah, like characters in general, right?
The Infected series. That shit blows my mind. Like this thing that would not have existed if I hadn't come up with it is now permanently inked on someone's body.
Hey man, They drank the
They
Kool-Aid.
were eager to get it. They wanted to get this.
They drank
to
the
show
Kool-Aid.
I love this thing.
I like it.
I couldn't hear what he said.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, he's saying yeah.
They drank the Kool-Aid. They're all in.
They're all in.
They're all in, and like it's funny. You know, there's some politicians like I could shoot someone on Fifth Avenue and get away with it.
Right.
I'm like, I got like 20 people who would shoot someone on Fifth Avenue and go to jail.
Right.
Because I asked them to shoot someone. It's overwhelming.
Yeah, so I mean that's gotta be super cool because I mean I gotta be honest, I'm wearing the T-shirt, I'm wearing the Orbiting Death football T-shirt, right? Yep. I got the stickers on my car, I got the background on my phone. I mean I truly enjoy. I've listened to and I listen to you doing the audiobook. So if you think he can write, he does all the voices for the Galactic Football League. In fact, for most of your books, you had Ray Porter do your the Crypt, which is still kind of weird that it's not your voice. But I'm telling you, he's just so insanely talented. I'm giving him a hand job right now, but
he's not saying no.
It just creates this. It's
you never say no to him.
Yeah.
Deshaun Watson.
But as somebody who just like is a voracious reader, just I can't. I don't listen to the radio anymore. I listen to music when I'm on the golf course, and that's it. As somebody who just constantly reads all these different things, it's just such a neat thing to do. And if you ever get a chance to listen to any Scott Sigler books, except this one, the new one, you're going to hear him doing all the different voices, and you're just amazing. I mean, you're as talented as Tom, not to again a hand job, but as talented as any actor on TV. The way you can do all this stuff, that is just crazy. How did you decide that? Like, I'm sure you were kind of forced to, but how did you decide that this is working and I can do all this?
Well, this goes back to my whole career begins with podcasting. Like I've been trying to be a writer, a professional writer since 92, I would say. And then got an actual deal in 2007. So there was a long period of time where I was just, being told by people, you need to give this up. And I'm like, don't care, get rich or die trying kind of thing. I will continue with this. But I happen to work for a company that did these audio programs for Fortune 500 companies. Like, for example, Sun Microsystems has 20,000 people. That's a small city. This company was the radio station for that small city. And they would have Ellison come in and they do all the scripts for him. And it was a really cool thing. It was a way to communicate with the whole company, but they had all this recording gear there. And I was trying to get published and learned about podcasting in 2005, I think. This is before it was even on iTunes, and podcasting was only nerds knew what it was, and you had to know how to program and do an RSS thing. And I was like, I did a research paper for the company because they did audio programs. And I'm like, you guys got to get into podcasting right now and in a big way, because this is similar to the development of the transistor radio. To make this short, transistor radio comes out year one. It's portable. You've got earphones. You can hear content no one else can listen to. You can carry it with you. And you can hear something you can't hear elsewhere in the radio, which at that time was called FM. And they were playing rock and roll music. And the first year, I think they sold something like 14 to 20,000 units. Second year, 600,000. Third year, it was like 800,000. And it changed the scope of entertainment forever because people were listening to rock and roll. And that was sort of the birth of rock and roll, was not only the music, it was the technology to get to listen to it until they got a huge number. So I'm like, the iPod's the same shit. People are carrying around, listening to content. Talk radio is the number one format in the world.
Yeah.
This is going to be a big deal, you guys. And they were like, and they kind of patted me on my little head and were like, well, it's just a distribution format, Scott. We'll just keep doing what we're doing. I'm like, all right. But so I'm there and like, I'm trying to be a writer. And I'm like, I think this is going to wind up being like the serial dramas of the 30s, 40s, 50s. It's going to be like the Lone Ranger and the Phantom and shit like that. So I learned how to record, learned how to make an RSS feed, and would go in at 3:00 in the morning and record my own audio. That brings me back to your question, which is how to do all the voices. I grew up in a super small town in northern Michigan, and me and my nerd jock D&D football playing buddies, it was nothing but voices all the time. Every comedian, it was Carlin, it was Eddie Murphy, it was Richard Pryor. We just imitate the bits over and over again. We'd imitate all the actors from the movies. We'd do all the guys from Blues Brothers and Aliens and Stripes, and Splash. And we would do these different voices all day long to entertain each other. So when I got to that adult job and I had that recording studio, I could have just done a straight read for everything, but I'm like, no, let's go all out and do the voices. So I'm not the best voice actor in the world. I'm not the best impressionist in the world, but what I have found is if I have a character and I do an impersonation, I have a comedian doing an impersonation of a celebrity, that gives me a voice distinctive enough that if you hear it multiple times in the book, you know which character it is without being told. And that's the level I aspire to as a voice performer.
Nice.
So where did the talent come from? We were super bored in grade school, junior high, and high school. So we did voices all the time. And then the rest of it fell into place, and was able to have some success with that.
And by the way, all those movies you mentioned have John Candy in them.
Dude, all the John.
They're all John Candy movies
all day long. And I'm saving my John Candy impression for a very, very special character. I got to wait for that one. I got to wait for that one.
So I have a question.
Sure.
When you started writing back in the day and you continue to write, I'm curious as to how do you write? In other words, do you use a typewriter, a computer, a pencil, a pen, voice typing? What did you start with and what do you do now?
I'm old enough to start out with a typewriter. My mom got me this Royal typewriter when I was in the, hold on. Can you guys still hear me? It says I got signed out of Zoom.
Oh, no,
we
you're
can
fine. Yeah.
Great. I started with the Royal typewriter, and my mom was a grade school teacher and was just, if I was reading, she would buy every book in the world, take me to the library. We'd max out 5 books at the library every week. We'd go to the bookstore and buy 3 books. And she didn't care what I was reading as long as I was reading. When I started playing D&D and everyone in my town thought I was a Satan worshiper because I played D&D, she didn't care. We were on the DA's watch list, man, because we played Dungeons and Dragons.
No,
That's
that's
great
not
game.
real.
For sure.
I'm sure.
For sure. We were on the DA's watch list in Sheboygan County because we played D&D. So my mom could give 2 shits what anybody thinks. She's like, fuck you, I know where my kid's at all the time.
Yeah.
So reading all the time. So she bought me the typewriter, and I started writing stories right out of the gate. The first monster I wrote was in the 3rd grade. And then I was doing it enough that when I was, I think a freshman in college, sophomore in college, and they had just come out, you had the big square bulky Macs that were out.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
I started writing at that school, and I come home, and my parents co-signed for me on a loan for a Macintosh LC2.
Yeah.
And that was the first debt I've ever taken on in my life. I had to co-sign. But they were like, great, it's going to teach him how to make payments, it's going to teach him about money, and he can write. So I've been writing on Macintosh all that time. And I would say, 20 years ago, I discovered a program called Scrivener, which is still it's a major program. If you are a writer, it's a great program. Because if you're writing Microsoft Word and you're starting to write the tomes I write, which are 300 pages plus, finding stuff in one long column of text is a difficult thing to do. Scrivener, it's more like a bunch of short documents set up in a folder structure on your left in a thing called the binder. So you can drag and drop, you can move things around, you can color code for characters, situations. It's got all of these options on it where you can, at a glance, you can kind of see where your book is. Well, it's been 7 chapters since I heard from this character. I got to bump that character up and give them a scene to kind of create the pacing and keep people from getting a character and a character's motivations. That's what I use right now. Computer use Scrivener. And that's how I write all the books.
So you're still typing, right?
Everything is typing. The voice stuff, the way I write is I'll write 3 paragraphs, go back and delete the one in the middle, rewrite it, then go to the upper paragraph and change the thing because it doesn't mesh with the thing in the bottom, rewrite sentences. I've tried using Dragon Naturally Speaking for about 15 minutes. And there is no way I could write a fiction novel based on the way I create content using voice to text.
So do any of your peers do that you know, like friends?
There's a few people out there. I think Agatha Christie was one who would just go, like, she was so rich at this point, she would go sit on a couch with her tea and lay back like in a psychologist's couch, and then her stenographer would come in.
Oh my
and
God.
she would just say the story. She would say the story, and then with very few edits, Snyder would type that shit up, send it to the publisher, and she would go buy another yacht. So she was a
Mumsy the butler did it.
Yeah,
but I have to admit, so my mom was the same thing. We just read everything we read. She read stories to us at night.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that the whole world didn't know that the Wizard of Oz was a collection of books. They all think it's a movie and it's a collection of books. I mean, I've read so much Agatha Christie and Hercule Poirot and on all that kind of stuff that it seems like sometimes when I watch a movie or read a book, I get through a quarter of it and I'm like, yeah, I know exactly how this is going to end. It's like you have to do something different, right? For me to even entertain. I've watched 5 movies in the last 2 weeks, and I get a third of the way through, and I'm just like, yeah, this is ridiculous. This is I could have written this drunk and half asleep, and it doesn't do anything for me. And I think kind of that's one of the things that draws me to science fiction, and guys like you and Mayberry, Jonathan Mayberry, and a couple other guys. It's so different and so out there that it kind of brings a whole different concept of what it is, and it's so different. Like if you write about stuff that's happening now, it's kind of lame, but 600 years in the future, it kind of gives you that whole opening where you can kind of really enjoy it.
Yeah. So I have one more question because I know you have something dropping on Halloween, right?
That is correct.
Okay.
It's called Druden.
Druden.
This is an original feature-length screenplay that I wrote with director Adrian Picardi, and we'd been trying to get this movie made for about 5 years now, and it's gone through all of these. And we can come back to your original statement, like, it's going to happen in a movie. There's a reason, because nobody will make it unless it follows a particular formula. So we've been trying to get this thing made for a while, and then I work with a company called Graphic Audio, which does full cast audio adaptations of all of my books. So they truncate the book, they write scripts for the book, and then voice actors play the parts, and they have different sound effects to connote what's going on. I pitched them, like, why don't you guys just do this original 2-hour screenplay? And they did it, and it wound up being 2.5 hours. It's called Druden. It's a World War II horror story. It will drop on October 31st, 2023. And you can pre-order that at Audible. Just search for DRUDEN or go to graphicaudio.net. And it's really fun, and we're super excited about it. And with the explosion of podcast related fiction content that's out there right now, hopefully that'll settle right in. But it's old school horror, World War II. A band of brothers runs into some horrible shit kind of stuff.
It's cool. I listened to the preview. There's like a 1.5-minute preview that I found through on Twitter. I clicked on that and started listening to it. It's really cool.
It's going to be awesome,
yeah.
And there is some unpredictability to that screenplay, because I suffer the same problem, if you will, where I've just been immersed in storytelling for so long, and I analyze and dissect everything I watch, and most of the time I can tell you exactly what's going to happen before it happens.
Yep.
And that can be disappointing, or it also can be fun. I happen to be in this amazing marriage where when I say the dialogue 5 seconds before the person on the screen says the dialogue, and we both know it's the first time we've ever watched this, my wife gets super turned on when I can predict the movie.
I love it.
I don't mind.
So that's
I don't mind watching predictable movies, dude. I don't mind it.
That's the litmus test. Okay,
that's great.
Wow, that is insane, and you should keep her and never let her leave. Like,
never letting her go.
Yeah.
When I'm like, here's this formula, and I bet you this guy's gonna say, I'm gonna take him to town. And then he's like, I'm going to take him to the city. She's like, that counts. And she's so impressed. I'm like,
I love it.
Great. I love it. It's a wonderful skill set to have for being a nerd and watching every movie 72 times my entire life.
Oh, man. Okay, so you're writing a World War II movie. What's the scariest monster in any book or movie that you ever come across?
I think that still is H.R. Geiger's Alien. The Alien, Ridley Scott had the original Alien. But the Bannon script, he is a absolute genius. Is it S.O. Bannon? I'm faltering. If you guys, whoever listens, look up who wrote the Alien screenplay, singular. It is to have something parasitic inside of you, growing so you have a certain amount of time, and it can't be removed without killing you. So you are completely fucked, and you get that time of knowing there's something growing inside of you. It is, to me, it will always be the scariest monster ever.
Yeah, Dan O'Bannon.
Yeah.
So
Dan
I always
O'Bannon.
confuse. So I love that movie, but the movie I like more is The Thing.
Thing's wonderful.
I mean,
Thing's
that
phenomenal.
movie. That movie. I think was like in 1979 or 80 or something like that. That was the first movie that scared the shit out of me. And an Alien came right after.
That's a remake from the '64.
Yes,
which is in the middle of the Cold War.
And I learned that later on. Yeah,
The 78
something like that. Yeah.
thing. is in my top 5 of all time. It's amazing. Kurt Russell's amazing. The entire cast is unreal.
Wilford Brimley in it.
Wilford Brimley.
You always got to mention Wilford Brimley.
He does.
Awesome.
He's got
He's
got
awesome.
a Wilford Brimley heart on it.
We're going to get Wilford Brimley on, and Mark will give him a hand.
Well,
Wait, is he still alive? Is Wilford
I
Brimley
will,
alive?
I
He
will
is, yeah.
cup his balls when Mark gives him a hand.
See, and listen, and I do this movie.
You can make fun of diabetes all you want. Wilford Brimley in The Thing is just a stone cold assassin. He's amazing. It's
perfect.
Amazing.
I love it.
Nothing folksy about his sweet ass. I'll tell you that.
Oh man, that is okay. So let me ask you this: what you've got to have a million ideas, right?
Yep.
What percentage of your you wake up and you tell I've got a can't miss idea? What percentage of those can't miss ideas absolutely you just undoable?
Jesus. Are you our marriage counselor? What the fuck is this all about? I feel like this is an intervention. We literally had this conversation yesterday. Like, okay, she's like, okay, we're gonna have to dial back on the can't miss ideas because we're just overwhelmed with these. And sometimes, honey, they do miss. And I'm like, they do miss. So the ones that can't miss, there are a few that stand out, and they come every day. I've got the opposite of writer's block. I've got this is the best idea anyone has ever had in the history of mankind, and we got to do this right now. That's the problem I have all day long, every day, and just getting me to sit down and write out a novel for 3 to 6 months is murder to my brain. So the ones that have really stood out were the podcasting. Like, I can't get published. I'm pretty sure if I serialize my fiction, release as a podcast, I'm a marketer. I know I can make that work. And that's what led to 20 to 40,000 people listening every week back in 2006, 2007. And then that led to putting out an indie book and having it go to #1 in horror and sci-fi on Amazon, being the #2 book overall in Amazon behind a Harry Potter book. And that's what led to me getting signed by Random House when I was able to go full-time as an author. So that was a huge one. The second one was ACX, when Audible started, when they were they were a very young company, and they're like, we're going to let people upload their own books. And I went to the mattresses with who at that point was a business partner. We were not romantically involved at all. I'm like, we got to get into this. And she's like, I am not giving up the $250 we make each month from people downloading our books. We need that money. And I'm like, you don't understand. You don't. Now it's like, baby, you don't understand. Back then, it's like, you don't understand. This is gonna be giant. And it wound up being giant. And we have several books on Amazon that are basically the core of our small business, the continual sales of these books. We keep adding to that all the time. So those were two of the really big ones. The other can't misses. I'm like, somebody's got to start reading fiction, live streaming fiction reading, which I'm still doing 4 years on. That's absolutely not caught on. And we do it every week, every Wednesday. Show called Sigler in Place, read live at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. And we get anywhere from 50 to 80 people watching live and a couple hundred watch after the fact. But that was one of my, this is a guaranteed hit, and it has not wound up being a guaranteed hit. But the first two have largely paved the way. And then the third one was when Vanity Codes, when GoDaddy and all the others were pimping their Vanity Codes. Mm-hmm. And we already had a site with 14,000 registered users. I'm like, I don't know SEO, but I know the general gist of SEO. And if we can get all of these people listening and commenting, and we reinforce these links from our site, we'll gravitate up high in the SEO, in the SERP rankings, and we'll get a bunch of SEO code conversions. Yeah. And that happened too. So those were the three biggest things that we did that worked out really well.
Wow. You had to be, everything you did, because you basically, we can blame you for all the podcasting. We can blame you for this show, because you basically were one of the few people that started, 15, 18 years ago. Yeah. So, it's a really cool concept that you can stick with this. And you had, when you're talking about writing, you had a lot of shitty jobs before you started writing.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Yep. Did you actually, and I think I read this, did you actually shovel shit at some point?
That was when I moved to a new town.
There's nothing wrong with that, by the way, because someone's got to do it. Because the world needs ditch diggers too.
It was the 7th grade, if I recall correctly. We moved to Cedar-Woolley, Washington, and that was the job I got for summer job was to dress in a cowboy costume, walk one of those little those horse carts around.
Oh, boy.
That isn't an actual cart. You're just pretending that it's with your feet and you're raising the handlebars. And in the back of that was just a wagon full. It was a little wagon. It was a kid's wagon. My job was to follow around horses at the parades and shovel up their poop and put it into the wagon. That graduated into, apparently I've got a lot of feces in my my resume. That graduated into, we moved again when I was a freshman in college. And where I grew up, when you're a freshman in college, that's when you get the sweet choice job, right? That's when you're going to go work the ferries at Mackinac Island in Michigan.
Sure, yeah.
And you're going to get all these crazy tips. And you've known people since you were 8, and they're like, I got you, Booblo. We're going to put you in this job. Moved to a new town, and the job I got was working the Ionia Free Fair in Ionia, Michigan. And my job was to ride on a flatbed trailer pulled by a tractor through the world's largest free fair. I would like you to point out, I jumped right in the majors right out of the gate. There's no minor leagues for this kid. Right in the majors, the world's largest free fair. And my job was to go through all of the horse stalls, pick up 55-gallon oil drums full of cow and horse shit, pick that up, put it on the flatbed, drive to the next place, pick those up, and then drive those to the trash compactor and be able to pick those barrels up over my head and dump them in the dumpster. I will tell you, that was a terrible, terrible summer, but I was ripped. Oh my God, dude. I was lifting like 100-pound barrels over my head all day long. And there were some pluses and minuses to it. That was also the year I figured out when you are trying to hit on people, you can literally be covered in horse shit, literally. But if you've got good game and you're ripped, you can get a number. I was like, this will never work. I smell like a cow patty right now. I got hay stuck in my hair. I am covered in poop. And be like, what's up, girl? It's crazy.
So that was the original PX. Like, that's the original PX90 workout right there.
That was
crumbs of shit over your head. Okay, I like that. Note to self. Note to self. All right.
Wow. You know what? You got to think. I mean, you got to have some serious storytelling. I mean, because picking up whether you're a girl or guy, whatever, it's basically the stories you tell, right? Yep. I mean, so you had it. It's so good that I'm a smell guy, so that would be tough, man. Like the hottest chick in the world smelled like shit. That'd be a tough one.
It was a total accident because it's like 95 degrees out. Michigan is literally a swamp that has been filled in. There's flies, there's mosquitoes, and we're working 14-hour days, and I had to do something to entertain myself and the people on the crew. So I was like, well, this will never work. Let's just start introducing ourselves to people. Yeah. And I was like, holy shit. Because I got a crazy amount of confidence. I was like, this is never going to work. This is just fun. And I'm like, this is amazing. This actually, you're nice to people. You're complimentary. You introduce yourself. It's crazy what can happen. So I learned a lot. Actually, I learned a lot from that literally shitty job.
Nice. Never underestimate pheromones.
There's no pheromones, dude. I smell like turds. Yeah.
All right, so I got to do this because I think I've read just about everything you've ever written. Okay.
Wonderful.
I mean, so you got all these great books. I mean, when does this become a Netflix? When does this become a movie? I mean, when? I mean, is this even a thing that you want to do, or is this something that like, are you just waiting for it to happen?
Well, at this point, we're waiting for it to happen. But when I was younger and angrier, I guess, we worked super hard at that. We live in San Diego. This goes back to when she lived in San Diego, I was in San Francisco. And I was in LA every month, one weekend a month, every month. And we would book all these meetings and we would go, and we were trying to do the networking thing and trying to make connections and plugging away. And it worked to some extent. We sold Nocturnal twice as a series. And the producer in that was Lloyd Levin, who did Hellboy and Green Zone and Boogie Nights. And the screenwriters wrote The Rocketeer, Danny Bilson, and Paul DeMeo, who's no longer with us. So we had a great team lined up, and we pitched that a bunch. We sold it twice. It got dropped twice. We had Infected option twice by the people who made Justified and Elementary and Masters of Sex. And so we were having those meetings, we were having lunches, got to go be on set to watch just an episode of Justified get made. Super fun. But the worst movie or TV show you've ever seen is a miracle it got made at all. It's called Development Hell, and things just wallow in there. It takes everything has to go right for someone to write a multi-million-dollar check to make a thing. And then everything has to go right enough for them to keep making that thing if it's a series. So we've been in the hunt, but going back to that, I've got the best idea that'll ever happen. We have to pursue this right now. it's been the business and personal relationship with who's the person who's now my wife, to be like, we spent all this time on this stuff. Some of it pans out, some of it doesn't. If we spent half of that time with you actually doing what you're really good at, which is writing books and making new properties, we would have this much more money and this much more security. So we, at this point now, it has changed from, this thing's got to be made the way I want it because I know how it should be, and I'll punch anyone in the mouth who tells me otherwise. Now it's like, what do I got to do to help you get this thing made? And if you got to change it, that's cool, man. Because I'm a novel writer and a script writer. I'm not a producer. I'm not a director. I'm not an actor. So now it's much more relaxed when the agents say, we're going to go pitch this thing. I'm like, great, tell me what I can do to help. So at this point, we're largely in a supportive role, waiting and seeing what happens. And we just keep writing stuff and people keep taking it out. So we have no control over it anymore. That's
so interesting, because that was actually one of my questions to ask you was, if you write a novel and you sell the screenplay to Hollywood, are you selling your soul to Hollywood? Does it matter at this point in your career what they do to it? Because I just listened to a podcast, and it was on, I think it was This American Life. It was about a guy who wrote a screenplay called Crazy Six, and he sold it to Hollywood, and he's Asian, and it was about Asian gangs in Oakland, and it was all about his life, and it was called Crazy Six, and he sold the screenplay. Hollywood took it and turned it into a movie being played by his lead role was being played by Rob Lowe, and it was based it was based in Czechoslovakia. So they took the whole movie but they kept the whole premise of like the gang thing, but now it's Rob Lowe and they're in Czechoslovakia.
Abraham Lincoln starring Lil Wayne.
So I know that happens, and he was like, but he at that point he sold it already and it moved on. Bitch.
Would you care? I mean, Scott, at that point,
right now you're saying that it's not that big of a deal, and you could work with that and help out, right?
Well, the thing is, I've been the guy who's upset with the way things are being changed, and dug in my heels, and been a burr in the saddle to be like, no, look, you guys, you're all wrong. We've got to keep it closer to the book. You will notice none of my shit has actually gotten made. Yeah. So that's one of those things. If you are a creator and you want to make a movie or a TV show and you want it to be exactly the way you wrote it, you need to move to LA and you need to wallow in obscurity in LA for 5 to 10 years while you work on other people's projects, make no money at all, barely make your rent, live with 5 people. That is the way the system is built there. Yep. And you have to build a track record of like, okay, you were the assistant to the assistant. So the assistant now becomes the producer. Now you're the producer's assistant. Now the producer goes to become a director. Now you're the producer. It's a very internecine process that it goes, and you have to go there and pay if you want to make the thing you want to make, you have to wind up working on 2 to 3 things that did really well, which is a crapshoot to get lucky. Then you have to meet the right people with the right script. You have to get people to finance it. If you want to make the thing the way you want to make it, you have to make your own things. That's the bottom line. If you want a movie to look the way you want it to look, you need to go direct movies. Start with a small, start with a medium, move to a feature, do a couple of features on no money at all. Prove a track record to the people who write $20 million checks. I've made these things all made money. You're going to have to trust me. I know what I'm doing. And then somebody write that check. If you just wrote the screenplay, good fucking luck. It's just never going to turn out. So for my books, I can't write a $20 million check. I have no track record of my stuff being made in Hollywood to point to and say, I want it to be made this way. Yeah. And so therefore, if they sign it and make it, if I still own the audiobook rights and the book rights, it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. I don't, and that's not me being callous. That's a skill set I don't have. I don't know how to produce a movie. You think it's easy. That shit's really complicated. It's hurting a whole bunch of cats. And again, the worst thing you've ever seen on TV or the movies is a miracle that got made. And there are miracle workers who make it. And if they give you a check and you take the check, it's now out of your hands. Yeah. So we'll be fine. Whatever gets made, we'll be fine. I position myself as like, listen, I'm the guy who wrote the book. So if you've got a question, why not come to me first? See if my answer fits your budgetary, directorial, producerial needs. If what I say works for you and you want to go with it and you like it, cool. Then you go on. Then you can go on to the producer's second cousin who will, make something terrible.
It's so funny you say that because one of my best friends moved up to Hollywood. He's a writer. He moved out there 15 years ago, my buddy Duffy. He's been out there for 16 years now, and he was a creative guy working in marketing, advertising, worked for some big agencies here, worked on a lot of big accounts, Budweiser, the Illinois Lottery, moved out there to become a screenplay writer, has done some work, but he's basically a freelance writer for marketing and ad agencies out there, making a decent living, but he's still writing screenplays, original content. He's working with some famous people, but nothing. It's like nothing. Right. But he's making a living doing something else, and by all accounts, he's pretty happy. But Good. It's hard. Yeah. I mean, you're right. He hasn't made it yet, but I mean, he's not giving up, man. I love it. I love him for that. He's still doing it. 16 years now.
He's got that can-do spirit.
Yeah.
You know what? Hey man, if you're willing to take a bullet for what you want to do, and you're like, I'll die working this I'll die happy knowing I gave it everything I had.
Yeah,
that's perfectly fine. But it's not just talent, because you've all watched movies that have made $300 million that are just an incredibly awful script. It's terrible.
Yeah. Cocaine Bear.
That's terrible.
Cocaine Bear.
Cocaine Bear. I wanted to like that movie. I wanted to like that movie so much.
So did I.
And I watched him like, why would you make it this way? You don't have to make it this way. It could have been this awesome flick.
Exactly. Why do they have? First of all, why do they have kids in it? They didn't need those kids. I get it. The kids got to say foul words. The kids said shit. No, the kids said shit and fuck, and everybody's like, "Oh, there's little kids saying shit and fuck." They added nothing, absolutely nothing to the movie whatsoever.
I did think the movie was going places when the kids started snorting rails. I'm like,
yes,
this is going to be awesome.
Yes,
this is going to be awesome. It's going to be like watching the kids in The Blob, if you remember that movie from the 80s. Like, this is not going to work out well for anybody. And then you had Carrie Russell working her ass off in that flick. And Ray Liotta's last movie.
Yeah, poor guy. Poor guy.
Yeah, that was the funniest thing. That was when we talked about that. I said that's how Ray Liotta finished.
Look, it's no I spit on your grave, but they did the best they could. Okay.
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
There was some fun stuff in it, but to finish that up, it's like it's this mix, right? You have to be in the right place at the right time with the right script, with the right look, and everything down. You have to be the right mix of gender, color, all of these things. All of that goes into, are you in the right place at the right time? Do you have something good? And then that's only 5% of it. And then it's, are the producers good? Are the actors good? Is the casting director good? Is the distributor good? Is the editor good? All of these things go into your friend getting that movie made. And when it gets made, there are 17 hands down the road that can completely shit the bed. And that all winds back up on him as a screenwriter. And then screwed. Career's over. Done. So it's tricky.
That is so funny.
All right. And I will tell you one other thing. My wife graduated college with a really famous screenwriter, John August. John August has done all of what the hell's his name? Edward Scissorhand director, Tim Burton. So
that guy's crazy.
He does all of Tim Burton's screenplays. Like, he's written everything, like Big Fish to. And the one movie he did write that got made, I can't remember the name of it, but anyway, but he somehow, it was like overnight for him. I mean, but it's who you know as well, because he got it. He met Tim Burton, man. He did something, and Tim Burton's like, "Hey, you're my guy." And from that point on,
he got lucky.
He got lucky.
I mean, he was in the right place at the right time.
He's extremely talented, but like,
it's not enough sometimes.
No, I know. Like Scott was saying,
August, John August has a great podcast too for screenwriters out there.
Yeah, he does.
Go find his podcast. But it's not just being in the right place at the right time. He put himself in a position for luck to happen for him. I'm going to assume he was already in LA.
Yep, he put himself out there.
He's doing shit work on a shit project, doing anything he could to pay the rent. He happens to meet Tim Burton, and then they hit it off. And there are guys I know who are making, guys and girls making a good living, and who are now validated Hollywood people who can go have a shot at getting the show they want to get made. And, it's just because they went out there, they're in the right place at the right time. They got lucky, and they were good when they got lucky, and they're prepared and executed it. But it's like, some of them are, I went to high school with this guy. He also moved out to LA. He wound up getting a deal he got an IP deal with a movie company. I wrote a script for him. It's like, you two were schmucks drinking beers in Milwaukee. You guys both got arrested for DUI because you wanted to go out and shoot a fucking deer and eat a sponge cake. And like those are the people who wind up, because of that relationship, they happen to both stepladder each other and crawl up into the big leagues.
All right, so you actually do like writers, like you do things. You were just in Georgia, right? Doing a thing for like science fiction writers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
yeah.
So the obvious question, I'm going to go with the other way. So you've been doing this for a while. People ask you opinions. What's the worst advice you ever gave somebody where you literally said, you literally went home and you went, hey, I can't believe I told this guy this. That was insane. I was just in a bad place. I have no idea. What's the worst advice you ever gave anybody?
I'm gonna be asshole here and say I have nothing to point to at all for that. My advice is extremely practical. It is not the advice that people want to hear.
Oh, perfect.
By and large, I don't get invited to a lot of writers' conferences. I would just did a writers panel for aspiring or early stage writers at Mysterious Galaxy Books in San Diego, and the shit I tell people is not the shit they want to hear, which is largely, you know what, prepare the next decade of your life to make absolutely no money and do nothing worthwhile of anything.
It's like the 3 Dudes podcast. I'm
because,
shoveling shit on the side of the road, not making any money. Holy shit.
The first thing I tell people is like, I'm glad you're very proud of this manuscript. Without even looking at it, I can tell you right now, it's fucking hot garbage. It'll never get published. It's shit.
So you're telling people what they need to hear.
Come back to me when you've written 4 more shit manuscripts, and then we'll sit down and talk. Like, as a bare minimum, like if you haven't written 5 full manuscripts of books and edited them and done your best to get them published, there's no conversation to be had, because my first 5 were absolute garbage too. It's the advice I give is you get in the trenches and you take your lumps and you learn by doing. Here's the best. I will say this is the best advice I have for anybody, any aspiring writer. Write a bad book. I got a YouTube video on this. Maybe it's been watched fucking like 300,000 times. It's crazy. Write a bad novel, because if it's your first book, you will get about 15% of the way in, and you will think that the shit you collected at the county fair doesn't stink. You will be like, I'm good at this, man. I'm good at this. And like, yeah, that's great. Then you get to the part where you don't know what to do because you've never done it before. And like at that point, you beam in a horny clown. A guy walks into the office with a machine gun and a machete. Anything just to get you through that scene. It doesn't matter, because you're trying to write a bad book. That's the thing that gets people over the hump. And when they finish that 70, 80, 90,000 word bad novel, guarantee you every single one of them will be like, okay, I tried to write a bad novel, but you know what? I'm special. This is actually pretty good. Part two is
my kid is gifted.
My kid is the talented kid. Put that book away for 6 months. Don't let anyone read it. Don't read it yourself. Start writing your good book, right? 6 months is enough time for the average human to forget what they thought they were trying to say and to see what's actually on the page. And then when they get that slap in the face of reading through their own work they thought was good and see how bad it is, you find the places you are the least skilled and your fiction is the worst, and you address those and learn how to get better at those spots right there. That's my advice. How you become a novelist, a good novelist. Write a shitty book, put it away for 6 months while you write your good book, pull out your shitty book and look at it, see all the places you suck, learn how to fix those things, and you're halfway home.
So when you say write a shitty book, you're talking about just like not a lot of thought, not a lot of concentration, just move it along and keep pushing it and finish this thing.
Like if you wrote a book, like if you wrote a book right now,
I
Mark,
like that.
Like if you wrote a book right this minute.
Yeah, it's like
it'll be called Ted.
If you are, if you're.
I didn't die of fucking boredom.
Yeah. No, hang on. Go ahead.
It doesn't matter. What matters is it gives you the power of knowing you can finish.
Yeah.
And the number of people who start to write the American novel and stop in the middle and never come back to it is probably incalculable. It's a huge amount of people who think they can do this incredibly difficult thing, and when the difficult thing gets difficult, they stop because they don't know where to go. They don't see any way out, and it's overwhelming. People got kids crying, they got jobs, they got all this work they got to do, and like, how am I going to find time to finish this off? And they just quit. So if you write a bad novel first, in the back of your head, there's now a little voice that says, "This sucks. I don't know what to do, but I've already finished one novel. I know I can finish a novel," and then that lets them relax enough to open up their mind and start go get some help, try and figure out what to do, write some options out. It gives you this power of knowing you can finish this thing that most people can't finish. And that power alone is enough to let you finish book 2, book 3, book 4. And then by book 4, you start to like, okay, now I know I suck. I'm going to write around how I suck. And you start to get better at it and write books that other people actually want to read. But that's at least my experience. That's the coaching I get.
You know what's the best about that is that you're not sharing it with somebody else. And you're not looking at it for 6 months, because how many stories are out there where there's famous writers that put their stuff out there now granted, like I'm gonna say like maybe it was really good, but they just got turned down so many times that they quit, that they gave up, and that we don't even know who they are. And then there's just as many writers out there that were way ahead of their time. Their content was so fucking good, nobody understood it. They got turned down, and they got one last chance, and finally somebody was like, "Yeah, that'll work. We'll publish it," and it takes off. I mean, that's how Dr. Seuss came about. I mean, he tried.
Harry Potter and Dune.
Yep, Harry. That's a real relatively new example.
And
Harry
you
Potter,
gave away your books for several years before you even. I mean, you gave away all your content online before you ever put a book together, right?
Yeah, those first 5 bad novels I told you about, by the time podcasts came around, the first bad novel, Infected, I had rewritten 14 times.
Not
from
bad
beginning
at all.
to end. The next book, Earthcore, I put out. At that point, I had rewritten it 10 times because I read. In fact, I did the advice I'm giving. I did with Infected. I wrote this book, and I thought I was going to be the next Stephen King. I'm like, but I wrote it like I'm going to write a book about one guy in one apartment going through some horrible shit, so I can control the sets, I can control the characters. I know if I confine it to a small story, I can finish this novel. I did that just to learn how to write a novel. And when I finished it, I thought I was the greatest thing since sliced bread. I put it away, start writing the next novel. I was convinced I'm going to have all the money in all the world. And then finished second novel, went back, pulled the first novel out to just give it a little nudge, polish it up. And I read it. I'm like, this is so unbelievably bad. I don't know what's happening. And I wrote it. So that
you can't even follow it.
And then when I started at that point, when I started podcasting in March of 2005, started podcasting my novel Earthcore. I had spent 12 years going to science fiction conventions, writing conventions, going up trying to meet editors, agents, publishers, anything I could do, trying to make contacts, trying to do it glad-handed, do it the old school way. Not because I thought if I put on a smile, someone would publish. It's like it's like dating or sales. You got to get 100 people into that funnel to find the person who's like, okay, this person gets it and they understand what I'm trying to do. And then you form that relationship and move forward. So, I was trying to do all of that. And then I was so frustrated. I said, fuck all y'all. I'm just going to give this away. Cause at this point, I know my stuff is good enough and people are going to like it. I just can't get anybody to put it on a bookshelf. So I started podcasting everything, record it unabridged, give it all away, read it all myself, do all the voices, have a over the top boisterous personality on air. And that was why I did it, because I was convinced if I can build an audience and show New York Publishing, I have 20,000 people a week ready to listen to my book. You guys should show up with a limo that I get to keep full of money and hand it to me, and we'll have a great relationship.
See, that's exactly what Matt's doing here. He's hoping to get to episode 100. Yeah. We're almost close to 100 podcasts. And he told Ted and I, once we get to 100, that's it. Limo's going to show up out front.
We're going to
limo full of money.
Yeah. Wheelbarrows of money and
it.
chicks are going to show up. It's going to be great.
Yep.
I found out that New York had no idea what the internet was, let alone podcasting
was.
So it's funny you mentioned something earlier. You said you have the opposite case of writer's block. So I was going to ask you, but you were kind of already answered the question. So have you ever thought about like microdosing ketamine or LSD to open up your mind even more, to expand your horizons, even think about you're going to go beyond your creative imagination? Like maybe there's like a level that you haven't even reached yet. Because I would need that shit. Because I would have to macrodose that shit. Because I can't think of anything.
At least 3 or 4 times a day, I look at my wife, who I absolutely adore, and she'll do some weird little thing and be like, "Is that motherfucker an alien? Is it? Should I get the fuck out of the house right now?" My dogs weigh 12 and 22 pounds each, and there are times I look at them like, I can't trust that motherfucker. My imagination as a horror writer is just out of control. And I have watched fraternity brothers have 2-hour-long conversations with pine trees and shit. And I'm like, nope, no, that stuff is not for me at all. And the ketamine I'm not as familiar with, but I like, dude, just getting myself to go to bed at night with my natural biochemistry is a huge burden, because I just want to stay up and keep making stuff. So
sure.
No. And I've tried getting other writers involved, like do the James Patterson thing, where you have other people writing with you.
Oh, you mean like writing for you?
To some
consultation.
No, listen. I love James Patterson. It's absolutely right. I love James Patterson, but at some point, he starts a series and then he's somebody else is writing it.
Yep.
And you can start to get the idea.
What does that mean?
No, but so he'll start. What was the one with the kids and the wings? I can't even think of what it is.
I can't place it. His YA series.
Yeah. But he does all these different things, and then he'll start the series, and then someone else will finish it, and it's a different book. I mean, you're talking to somebody who reads an insane amount of different things. Yeah, and then so when somebody starts a book and somebody else finishes it or finishes the series, it takes on a different tone.
So it's like if I went on a date with a girl and then some other guy took her home after dinner. Is that what it's
Yes.
like? Okay, just checking her.
Yes, you wine and dine her, and somebody else
and someone gets all the
69s her,
spoils.
yeah.
Okay, yeah, all right, gotcha.
So staying in that on that frame of mind, how many stories or things do you have going like at once? Like how many stories are you writing like right now?
Well, that's taken a lot of work to get down to one. Right now, it is one book. It's called Warpath, and it's kind of a unique story. I'm under an NDA, can't tell you what it's about because I'm working with a movie company that wants to put out novels with original IP, so then they can use that to go get the funding for a movie.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But it has taken 20 years to get to the point where I'm writing one thing at a time. And I've been telling my business partner, I'm like, no, I swear to God, baby, this time it's just one novel. It's just me and one novel, baby. It's not gonna be other novels, baby. I got no other business ideas, baby. And we just finished one called Slay. I don't know if you guys have heard Slay yet. Slay, I wrote every Friday. We live stream read it on Wednesday, and then that audio was stripped out, edited down, put on the podcast feed on Sunday. It is this bonkers, meth-fueled, drunk binge monster hunter story, and it's pretty cool. But I've been writing 3 books at once, plus doing the marketing, doing the business, all the social media for about 2 years now, and now all of those are done. So now it's just one, and I'm just trying to finish one book at a time.
See, that's
Sounds
good.
like hey man, it's one book at a time, bro. That's all it is. One book at a time.
All right,
But
so
it's really, really hard for me. Yeah.
So I got to ask you this, and I know nothing about narrating books and everything, but Ray Porter is narrating your new book, and you're not.
Yep.
And I don't dislike it. It's just a different concept. Do you get to choose? So you decided not to. Obviously, you decided not to narrate it. Do you get to pick who does that?
Most of the time. With all the GFL books, because now we've got 6 novels, 6 novellas, 3 more novels to come. People are used to those voices. I'm doing all of that.
So wait, hold on. You're saying there's going to be 3 more GFL books?
That is correct. That's correct. After Warpath, we move on to the final draft of GFL Book 7. So that's real close. Probably.
I'm so excited right now. You can't even.
That's wonderful to hear. Wonderful to hear.
Oh man.
But the Ray Porter experiment began with Earth Core because I'm friends with Jonathan Mayberry, who's a very not only incredibly talented writer and an amazing human being, super loving guy who will help anybody with anything. He also is very smart at the business side of things. And I'm like, I need telling John, I'm like, I don't know what the algorithm is in Amazon and Audible, but I know there is one. What do I do? He's like, well, go listen to these books, see if you like this guy. And I listened to Ray Porter doing the Joe Ledger series books. And Ray, God. I'm like, Ray's just incredible. He's like, I'll put you in touch with Ray. And we were sort of able to skip outside of the publisher system because we had owned the rights to Earth Core. I was able to contract directly with Ray. And at this point, after all this time, I'm friends with Ray. Ray's a big fan of the work. And he brings this cachet of people who will listen to anything he puts out because of his talent as a narrator.
He's insane.
Yeah, okay.
He's so good. So we partnered up with him on Earth Core. I had a big audience. He had a big audience. We came together with Earth Core, which is the biggest money maker I have in my whole stable right now. So we got Ray to do Mount Fitzroy, and he's just so insanely good. I'm very good. I can read you my novel exactly the way I envision that novel in my brain, and it's pretty good. It's pretty fun. I'm not a professional actor. Ray is a professional actor. So he now reads the stuff. So if we can get Ray to do a book, it does 2 things. It keeps Ray's audience involved, which boosts up the algorithm on Audible. And higher you go in the algorithm, the more people like who've never heard of me will wind up getting this book in front. I'm like, that sounds cool. I'll give it a try. So I get new fans because of the algorithm. The other thing it does is I'm not spending 2 to 3 weeks in a recording booth where I'm reading all day and not writing new copy, not writing new IP. Yeah. So when we get someone else to read a book, it's a win-win for everybody. Bronson Pinchot did Aliens Phalanx. I had no control over that. You guys remember Balky from back in the day, Perfect Stranger?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I heard of him.
He did Aliens Phalanx, and that was completely independent of me, but I had a great time. I was kind of sort of I was a consultant for him. He was crazy. Ray will just take the manuscript. You will not hear from him, and then it's done and it's perfect. Bronson was like, I'm getting texted like 2:15 in the morning. Like, what do you think this character thinks about this word? And I'm like, oh my God, this is so much fucking fun. All I'm thinking is Beverly Hills Cop, him and Beverly Hills Cop. Yeah. So you get professional actors bring a different approach to it. And while they are doing the book, you are off doing your core competency, which in my case is the more I actually do what I'm really good at, writing books, the more security we get as a family with putting books out there. So I'm all for it.
Bronson was good in True Romance too. That was a great. That was a great fucking character in that movie.
And
it's all about screenwriting too.
Just an awesome dude, man. Yeah. Like these people you think are just going to be, you just naturally think, well, that's a Hollywood big shot. It's going to be an idiot. Like talking to him on the phone, it's like, dude, you would go throw down like a bunch of beers.
That's cool.
Just hang
That's
out
good to
and
hear. I
watch
like
the
that.
fucking
Yeah.
lights.
See, now I have to re-listen because I'm a big Ray Porter fan. R.C. Bray, Jeffrey Kafer. Yep. I am not. I know Bronson Pinchot did. He did a whole series, the Sansbury stuff, Nicholas Sansbury stuff.
Yep.
I'm just not a fan.
Have you listened to Aliens Phalanx?
No, I have not.
Okay, so if you're a fan of the Aliens franchise, Aliens Phalanx is a canonical novel. I can't tell you where it sits in the Alien timeline because that is a spoiler. So, but you can go listen to it, and so you sort of get a cheat code. You're like, hey man, I love this franchise. This is fun, and Scott's a writer, and then you get Bronson thrown on, so you can try Bronson out almost for free.
What about Morgan Freeman?
Good luck getting him.
Do I have to cut?
Yeah. Right?
Do I have to cut?
How about James Earl Jones?
Could you imagine
Denzel Washington?
Like what you're talking about? Can you imagine the amount of listeners you would gain?
Listen. All of those guys, I don't care who I got to blow. I mean, just give me a name. Yeah. I'm good.
Why don't you just get Maya Angelou?
Denzel Washington reading one of my books. I'm like, I will go work the night shift on Fifth Avenue. I don't care. Yeah, all of that stuff would just be amazing. Because these guys, when you get these guys, the guys at that level. To me, the ultimate dream for me, frankly, is Kathy Bates. Have you ever heard Kathy Bates?
Yes.
She is phenomenal. Yes. Oh, my God, she's phenomenal.
Fucking assassin. She's the best audiobook reader I've ever heard. And just I'm like, I don't give a shit. What do I got to do to get this woman on the mic for one of my books? And it would be incredible. So, yeah, these people are like, I'm a good audiobook reader. I really am.
You are no, you are incredible, absolutely incredible.
Oh, Matt,
I appreciate that. But high-level professional actors can do shit. I do not have the DNA to do it, so I like to listen to it.
Okay.
Yeah. So Will Patton read Mr. Mercedes, the series, the Stephen King series.
Stephen King, yeah.
One of the greatest things. I mean, and Kathy Bates is right up there. The stuff I've listened to her do. There's a few people that can literally, and you do this, you bring the whole thing to life. Like I read the first, the GFL book, the Rookie. I read that one, and it was great. And then I listened to the second one, and I had to go back and listen to you do that because it was the voices. And like he's right. When I hear his voice.